Hey guys, what's up? It's Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, and I'm here with a review of a Filipino horror film, science fiction horror film from 1968. I'm talking about the first entry in the Blood Island series, Brides of Blood. So, this movie is about an island known as Blood Island. This island is home to a native tribe who are being visited by some people who are there to help them, improve their housing and help them build an irrigation system and also provide, healthcare and whatever medical attention they might need. This island is also home to a rich old dude who lives in a mansion with a bunch of manservants, a bunch of dwarf manservants, as well as mutated plant life and a monster that eats women exclusively. This movie is a cheap cheese fest featuring some really bad acting, awful writing, hilariously bad special effects and puppeteering, and this movie is at least somewhat decently made. Like, the camera work is okay and it's decently lit and everything. So there's nothing much to complain about there, but the film does have a bit of a slow pace. The monster in the film doesn't even show up until about a third of the way into the movie, and then he's gone for another, half hour, and then he finally comes back, and then he's gone again, and yeah. Essentially, that's how this, woman-eating monster works. And the entire time that they are, trying to anytime that they're not showing a monster or somebody being eaten by a man-eating tree or something of that nature, they're trying to build an atmosphere and build up the characters, which fails entirely because the characters are just kind of lifeless husks. It's a B movie, and it's a very fun one at that. And I'd never really heard of this movie before. I'd heard of its sequel, The Mad Doctor of Blood Island, I think. I've heard of that one before, but only in passing. I never heard anybody say, hey, this is a pretty interesting, cheesy B movie you should check out. I'd never really heard of any of these movies in the Blood Island series until I saw an announcement from Severin Films just this morning for the Blood Island collection, which is going to be a box set of the original Blood Island trilogy, which is Brides of Blood, Mad Doctor of Blood Island, Beast of Blood, and then the prequel to the series from the late 50s, Terror is a Man. And instantly seeing their ad for it, I had to go out and find a copy because these movies looked absolutely wild as hell and like something that would be right up my alley. And in all honesty, yeah, this is a very enjoyable movie, especially if you enjoy bad B movies and low-budget films. But as previously stated, this film does have a bit of a slow pacing at times, and it's not as wild and crazy as you might expect after seeing, the old trailer for it, or even this recent ad for the box set from Severin, because after seeing the ad for the box set, I expected this movie to be wild as hell, and it's a little, there's definitely some pretty interesting moments and wild moments in the movie, but it's nothing as crazy as you might expect from some of the advertisements and stuff. But it's got some stuff that makes it stand out, like man-eating trees, carnivorous butterflies, dwarf manservants. On the gore meter from 1 to 10, 1 being something like Nosferatu, and 10 being something like Peter Jackson's Brain Dead, Brides of Blood is probably a 2, maybe a 2.5 out of 10. It really isn't as gory as I expected it to be. I mean, it is a low-budget film from the 60s, so I guess to expect gore is to expect a little too much. But still, it's there are a couple scenes involving some severed limbs, but other than that, it's nothing too crazy or too wild. The movie, I would honestly say, is comparable to, In the Loreley's Grasp or Night of the Sorcerers, both directed by the guy who did the Blind Dead movies. But, yeah, both of those movies are like weird black magic creature feature movies, and this movie has a similar vibe to that, and it also has a similar kind of cheesy tone overall, although it's not as violent as either of those movies. But if you've dug movies like The Lorelei's Grasp or Night of the Sorcerers, I would say give this one a watch. It's definitely worth checking out if you're into this kind of stuff. If you're not, then I would say stay away. But with that being said, that is the end of this review. I'm going to give this one probably a 7 out of 10, a 3.5 out of 5. It's sitting somewhere in there. The rating might go down if I rewatch it, and maybe it's not enjoyable the second time around. I don't really know. But either way, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews signing off. Peace.